Welcome to another Man Room Cigar Review with David and Tony. Today we're doing the Fratello Toro cigar.
It's an absolutely fantastic blend, one of my personal favorites. It's 6 1/4 by 54. Omar de Frias, this is his first cigar for his line, for his company. Came out in 2013, and not often do you get it right on your first attempt, but he really did. It has great notes. The wrapper itself, you have some slightly toned vein to it, but it's very smooth, very silky to the touch, and overall, it's beautifully constructed.
Yeah, that wrapper is a Nicaraguan Habano wrapper. Below it you have an Ecuadorian Sumatra binder, and then you have a mix of a Nicaraguan and Peruvian filler, which adds a nice complexity to the cigar. All the way through the cigar, too, you're not going to get that mix of filler very often, and I think it's a different flavor that's very enjoyable.
Absolutely. I mean, the Peruvian filler really adds kind of like a slight subtle sweetness you don't often get with this kind of mixture. You've had the Nicaraguan Habano as a wrapper for a lot of other cigars. Same thing with the Sumatra, but the mix of all three really mars very well together. It's a very interesting compilation. Usually, we'll start off in our reviews about here, but this cigar is really good, so we wanted to get a little bit further into it because it was so complex before we really started reviewing it, so we get a little bit of better beat on it.
What did you get off the beginning of the cigar when we first started smoking?
I got a slight sweetness, a little bit of almost a caramel, kind of a light cedar to it. It's very savory.
Yeah, moving into the second half of the first third, breaking into the cigar on even more segments. But I'm picking up an espresso flavor, which is something that, as someone who doesn't really drink coffee himself, I don't find it off-putting because this flavor is actually so smooth and it just blends well with what I'm getting from this cigar. It's there on my tongue, it's present, and I can really enjoy the flavor. It's not overpowering. It's actually very nice.
I'm getting the slightest subtle spice just right in the front of the mouth. It's not enough to be, advertently noticeable, but you can kind of taste it just as you exhale.
Almost like a light pepper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep smoking through these, and I'm going to get these a little further down. Alright, so we're getting a little bit further down into our Fratello cigar, our Toros. David's gotten a tad further into his than I have. I'm smoking mine a little bit slower.
No, I'm just enjoying my more.
This guy. So, the cigar is still absolutely fantastic. I got a great ash going, even though it's starting to bend a little bit of a fracture.
Yeah, my ash actually just fell onto my pants and then onto the ground and actually held the ash all the way down. It was a very well constructed cigar. You can see just from how strong the ash was, even falling twice.
Yeah. Anytime you can actually pick the ash up and put it in the ashtray, I mean, that's fantastic.
Right. It's always a great sign of a well constructed cigar. My ash actually was holding on very well too. I think it was my own fault that I dropped it. The cigar itself is kind of evolving. I'm getting the cigar started on kind of like a medium to full. Once we got into it, it was like a stronger medium cigar. It's mellowed back. It's brought back to a medium. It's still it's a smooth cigar.
Simmered down a bit.
Yes, it has. It's starting to really develop into something that's nice and just it's mellow. I like it.
I'm still getting that slight caramel pepperiness to it. I started to notice that coffee, kind of like that cappuccino flavor, more and more as David said it. It's kind of like a slighter tone that started to pick up as I smoked through the cigar. Construction-wise, I mean, it's been keeping very well even. The cigar itself has been absolutely fantastic up to right now.
So in the beginning, before we lit the cigar, I noticed a little bit of sugar on the foot as I gave my cigar a smell before I lit it, and that sugar is kind of showing back up. It's kind of a sweetness, but it's also like a sugar sweetness, which is nice as I'm smoking. It's making it a little bit more complex.
I want to take a second and talk about the band. Dave, would you hold up your band? I don't want to move this too much and have my ash fall on my lap too. The band, beautiful coloring. The red and the white really help pop out. That thin black border, I feel, really helps to break it up. It's absolutely a great play in colors.
Yeah, it's a good band, and especially mixes well with the color of the cigar. It makes it pop off, and it sticks out in the humidor. It's easy to spot.
It is. Fratello, for those of you that might not know, is the Italian word for brother. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. All right. So we're going to keep smoking through these.
And hopefully his ash will hang on. So we're finishing up these guys. still really enjoying the flavor. The cigar is continued to stay mellow. It hasn't regained any strength. It hasn't really lost any though either. It's staying medium, which is nice. The smoke is not warming up on me. I'm actually probably going to smoke this guy all the way down to the nub. It really is actually kind of cool of a smoke for how close it is to how far into the cigar we are. I'm getting a lot more of that sugar. It's been on the forefront for the last little bit of the smoke, and
It definitely sweetened up.
yeah, it definitely did. I'm enjoying the end of this.
It's been great all the way through. I'm still getting the nice hints of cedar, getting nice kind of sweet undertone to it. Through the retrohale though, through the nose, I'm getting a lot of spice. It's a nice little slap of a pepper bomb.
It's kind of like it's the Peruvian mixed into it.
Exactly. Kept a great ash all the way through. It flaked up a little bit on me towards the end, but once you get that far into a cigar, so we expect you to get a little bit of that.
Yeah, it's smoking great too. I haven't really had to relight it at all. I've been smoking pretty consistently. I've had no problems with that. You can see I'm still getting nice big plumes of smoke all the way to the end.
I will say that a lot of cigars, if you put them down for a couple minutes, they just go out on you. But this one, I was able to pick it back up and just keep smoking, no problem whatsoever.
Yep.
Ratings, David, what do you think?
I am going to give it a 9. I like the cigar. I like the mixture of the sugar and the espresso. I've gotten the espresso in and out throughout the cigar. It's delightful, actually. I really enjoyed the cigar all the way through.
I'm going to give it a solid 9 for construction, flavor. The blend, I think, is absolutely genius. And like I said at the start of this video, for a first attempt at a cigar line, I know a lot went into it and there was a lot of trial and error, but this thing came out absolutely fantastic. I'm a big fan of it. And the whole brand, I think, is fantastic. Anything else?
I think we're good.
MSRP, these things, depending on where you are, what state you're in, I want to say anywhere from $7 to $10. Fantastic cigar. It's a great value smoke, guys.
It's about 8 for us.
Yeah.
So.
If you guys have any questions or if they have a cigar that you'd like us to review, please comment below.
And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.